Hello. Today we will see how indexes work in a relational database system. So I'm taking this example as a MySQL server, and this is navigation for all tables in the system. So if we see this particular table like HR employees, and it is having listed all columns, and when we go down, it shows indexes. There are three indexes listed there. One is PK, that is a primary key on this table, PK employees, and it is clustered index. The clustered index means all the entries which are in the index are kept together in a disk. Second index is on the postal code column. It is a non-unique. That is, all entries of that index can be repeating or duplicate, and it is non-clustered. We can have multiple non-clustered indexes for one table, but only one clustered index. So why we use indexes primarily? The main reason to use indexes is to execute query much faster. Why the queries are getting executed much faster is depending on the index. And when we put an index on any particular column, that column gets sorted, get indexed, and stored in a separate table on a disk. So we will see how binary search work on a sorted column. So this is example in Wikipedia showing binary search. So suppose we have 1 to 16 uh, values. So when searching for a particular value, in this example, we are searching for value number 7. So it will divide that all values in two parts and search this. As these values are sorted and we are getting the value 14, we definitely know that the value exists in this half, and this half can be discarded very well in the first step. So when we repeat this process multiple times, within 4 steps, we can get this our value where it is located. So this is called a binary search on a sorted column. And this is very important to execute query very fast with index. So suppose if we have a million rows, so to sort that million rows and to get a particular value, without index we have to sort million rows, but with index we have to sort only 20 steps. So this is a huge saving when we use indexes for searching in a database. So we will see how we create index, how we drop index, how we see index, and all such things. So in this MySQL server, there are two type or two ways to create indexes. So if we click index and say new index, then we can create new index from here itself. There are a lot of technical information we can get from this index itself, and from query we can create index very easily. Four indexes now, and our index IDX region, which is non-unique because we have duplicate items in that column, and non-clustered because we have already one clustered index. So new index is created. Then we can drop index, that is if we do not want to use that particular index, and I will explain reasons why we need dropping index in particular situation. So when we the syntax for dropping index is a drop index, then table name dot, then index name. So just drop index, execute. and we dropped the index. So when we refresh these indexes, so we had three. Our fourth index is dropped. Uh, then we can see lot of information from indexes. This is a sample query to see the information about indexes when I execute it. See that this is information, that is index name, type, description, that is whether it is clustered or non-clustered, whether it is unique or not. So it is lot of information we can get about indexes. And there is whole chapter we can say, but this is introduction for using indexes. I will show one query which is quite complicated, and to show how indexes work and how indexes are used by search engine. Okay, so when I use this query and include actual execution plan and execute a particular query, suppose this is my query and I execute it, so I get this result set and I also get execution plan. So as you can see, this is a query number one, and this is a what is the syntax of that query? It is the values are replaced by one and two, that is factors of that value. And important thing what I want to show is it shows clustered index scan. So what happens here is when I execute a query, and if the index is present on that particular column, the index is used to scan the values. As the index is binary with sorted column, it is very fast. And once we get a little or small number of chunk or small number of rows after going through that index, then that chunk is then again queried for further processing. So by using this index, the query becomes very fast. And when I hover over this index, it gives me lot of information about the clustered index scan. That is its physical operation, logical operation, and whatever you can see. Then I will just go through a situation where we should not use indexes, because when we try to insert or update queries, that is, suppose I want to insert 100 rows in that particular database table, then what happens is when each row is inserted in the table, the index has to be updated, because the index is always kept up to date and in real time. So I'm doing two things in one query, that is inserting or updating a particular row and then updating my index. So this is very tedious procedure. And suppose if I'm inserting a million rows or if I'm updating a billion rows in a table, then using index at that time is very costly because it slows down the execution. So for that purpose, what we do is first we drop the index, then we update or insert the rows, and then we again create index. So while inserting or updating the rows, the indexes don't come in between and the execution is very fast. So I think you got a little bit information about how to use indexes. Thank you.